than that. That looks good. That looks good. And waiting on the preview, so it's probably awkward. There we go. Perfect. Hey there, hi there, everybody. Hope you're having a good day here so far. I'm going to be doing a bit of backlog work here today. So I finished up week 4 of Baron's Quest a couple days ago. Today is going to be finishing up week 3. It's going to be 100% completion. I'm going to be doing all 4 difficulties, and I estimate it should be about 45 minutes or so. So, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching. I want to say a big hello to those of you who are watching live here. If you're watching at some point in the future on the YouTubes, howdy, thanks for finding the channel. And also, a big welcome and thank you for subscribing to my new subscribers. You got your names down there, and it's very much appreciated that you are interested enough in the channel to follow along and keep up with all the new and interesting things that I keep putting out. So, welcome aboard. Thank you. Alright, so plan here today is just to start simple. We start in easy, working my way up. And I'm going to be doing it primarily with a bit of a fun team here. I'm just going to be running Elsa Beast, Darkhawk. And I'm going to be doing it primarily with Elsa for no other reason than I just really like Elsa. She's fun to play, she's smooth, and honestly, I can't sing her praises well enough. She's awesome. Especially for the first simple normal quest here, where it's a super easy KO. All I gotta do really is just parry, let her auto evade, handle the mitigating the block damage, and the degen. Between that and the degen from my double-edged suicide mastery is enough to melt them without even touching them. If you're interested in doing a Legends run for the monthly quests, I know Juggernaut has been sort of one of the tried and true underrated favorites for getting through the first couple quests, just because with his Unstoppable you don't need to worry about parrying, you don't need to worry about dexing, you can just jump right in and start going ham. But Elsa's not a bad option either if you have Double Edge turned on, which if you're doing a Legends run you should have that turned on already. That way her degen just does most of the work, and you know, it's easy game, easy life. Plus, also, you don't need to worry about the parry, just because she gets that auto evade from the start. And she's just a really fun stinking champ to use. So, just say bye to that Electro, don't even worry about any of his shock damage. Especially since pretty sure all of her attacks are energy-based projectiles, so don't need to worry about activating that nasty shock damage right there. You can just stand there and wear it. So there we go. Halfway through the first part. Got that rank up stone, which is very much appreciated. Figure, since this is the first live stream since the results came out earlier, I want to give a big congratulations and shout out to everybody who wound up getting the Act 6 Legends time for Act 1, 2, 3, and or 4. I know a couple guys in my alliance did. I know a bunch of other YouTubers have it as well, so big congratulations to them. Hope you enjoy your new Weapon X. Hope to see some interesting videos coming out about him. It'll be fun to see how he handles, if he's going to wind up being a useful utilitarian champion, or if he's just going to be primarily for the kicks as a trophy champ. Kang is a trophy champ, Thanos is a trophy champ, Deadpool at this point is a trophy champ. Goldpool, though, is Still fairly useful just for his synergy with Nick Fury, but otherwise is okay. He's useful. So it'll be interesting to see where Weapon X winds up falling. Interesting still is where they're going to introduce the 5-star variation of Weapon X, seeing as how he's already slated for a future release in-game. Just by going to the champion profile and seeing that he's available as both 5 and 6-star. Whether they wind up backtracking that and retconning that in the future to just be a 6-star only champ, or if he's part of some future Legends run or some new Gold Pool-esque crystal or something. It'll be fun to see where he pops up. Hopefully he's a bit more widely available, because, you know, there's always that that sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out. And it's just fun to play different champs with different playstyles and different kits. So, again, hope you guys are having a good day here so far, a good evening, a good night, or a good morning, depending on where in the world you're at. So far, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a decent day. Got to get outside for just a wee bit. Practice my social distancing. And why did I hit replay? And now I get to just sit back and get some fairly easy rewards. Also, today was the first day where they put up the new spotlight for Sheriff Hopper and for White Widow. And while I don't think either of them are going to be game or meta breaking, they both seem to be very interesting for very different reasons. Guardian seems like he's going to have a fairly unique playstyle, and White Widow seems to take a page out of Quake's book, where you're able to build up modifiers or multipliers for her abilities by getting your back up against the wall and just dexing. So that should be pretty fun. Looking forward to getting a 4-star version of them here in the coming weeks. Take them out for a spin, see how they hold up. Cheers. Synergies for the most part seem fairly par, nothing that would be character defining. It's nice to see that Ronin finally gets a little bit of love with White Widow. Although it is sort of unfortunate to see that the biggest bonus you get by having a Ronin on your squad is if he's dead or KO'd. Guardian has a nice Colossus synergy, and that's just going to make that guy even more of a monster. Plus, especially when you get some of the secondary synergies, like Beardo's Science, Reed Richards Science, so on and so forth. Just keep adding to their kit, adding to the adventure. See what else they can do, how heavy they can hit. And network issues. It would be nice to get through a live stream without running into network issues just once. Maybe too much of an ask. But, you know, hope springs eternal. I'm very much a fan, though, of the modified dimensional rifts that they've got coming up. I like that you can pick once, which I think once is enough, the path that you want to wind up going down, which is really nice, especially if you're after a specific 5-star class awakening gem for the uncollected version, or specific something or another for some of the other tiers. Anytime they give more choice to the player how they want to develop their roster, I think the better. especially since there's so much randomness with everything else in game, you know? Even with the incursion crystals, where you have an extremely small pool relative to, you know, the overall quantity of champs in the game, you still have at best a 10% chance to get who you want. Or if you want to look at the glass half empty and be a negative Nancy, you got a 90% chance of failure. But I think that may just be me psyching myself up, because I'm probably going to be opening up one myself here in next week or so. It's going to be the first incursion dungeon crystal that I've opened up in probably half a year. So we'll see. Just really hoping for that 5-star Black Bolt. Just because he's the unique trophy champ. I've got one as a 6-star already, but just because he isn't available anywhere else currently, kind of makes him that it champion, for me at least. So if you guys are watching here sometime in the future, if you want to drop down in the comment section, let me know what you thought about the monthly event here in general, because this is the first time that they let us really pick our own rewards and choose our own adventure. I know they had a Civil War event when the movie was out, if you wanted to be Team Cap or Team Iron Man, but the only difference there, is my memory serves at least, was just a slight variation of champs in special crystal you could get. You could either get Team Cap champs or Team Iron Man champs. Otherwise, I think it was still fairly similar otherwise. But this is a very pleasant departure from that. You can either choose champion crystals if you wanted champions, you could either get rank up materials if you wanted rank up materials, or you could get both. I know me. I, for one, am really hoping to see this again in some future iteration. Hopefully by then they come up with a 5th tier of difficulty, just for people who really want to hit the ground running, you know? But again, hope springs eternal. Cheers. So we're about 15 minutes in, rounding up. Got the first 2 difficulties done already. I'm running a Elsa with deep wounds on, with a double edge on, which means that for the entirety of the first map, I just had to stand there and her degen did the work for me. Second map, jump in, let the degen work, and then love tap them once or twice. And now these guys, I get combo and a half in, so moving right along. Now my 6-star Elsa right here is rank 2, which is about the equivalent, since she's unduped, it's about the same as a maxed out 5-star, thereabouts. Since she's unduped, she's a little bit weaker than a maxed out 5, but in terms of the numbers that she can put up and her damage, it's all going to be fairly comparable to what you would see with a maxed out 5-star. And well, I think the numbers and the results kind of speak for themselves. Now, I will recommend, if you're taking an Elsa, no matter what her rarity or how many, what her ranking is or her level or any of that. She is not a solid suicide champ. So I wouldn't recommend going deep into quests with suicides turned on. Especially because Elsa is primarily a very special heavy champion. She gets most of her punch from throwing specials, so she wouldn't last too terribly long, especially with some of the tankier champs. That having been said, if you want to put her on Alliance War defense with Double Edge turned on, that would be a very smart decision. Because she is stupidly annoying to fight if you don't have a mutant champ. If you got a mutant champ, she's a piece of cake. If you don't have a mutant champ, you're going to be in for a very rough time. Forget. I know that Spider-Gwen, she can kind of ignore True Strike. Like if you bring in a champ that has True Strike, she can still ignore that and can still evade. I don't think that applies to Cold Snap. So I think Elsa is still a solid counter to Spider-Gwen, whereas like a Corvus Proxima combo or a Heimdall still falls short. Speaking of Cold Snap, how are you guys doing in the Storm X arenas? For those of you who are going, I gotta say, the more that I play around with my 4-star, the more I'm kind of tempted to go for the 5, but we'll see. If nothing else, save up some of my 5-stars and hopefully get lucky and pull one out of the featured when that comes around in another 2.5 months, give or take. Because I think there's still one champ that we're missing from the future 5-star pool. Because we've got Terrax, we've got Supreme and Stormex, White Widow and Hopper, and then whoever the first of the June champs are. Which at this point, who knows? I'm just hoping that whoever it is, I'm hoping it's a tech champ, to be honest. We haven't had a good tech champ for a while. Okay, so almost done with the third map and just got through my energy. Throw out a energy refill right there. And continue on my merry way. Now the prestige for both White Widow and Hopper are about, what, 10,600 odd some? Which for White Widow kind of makes her par for the newest wave of skill champs. So she's right up there with Elsa, she's right up there with Squirrel Girl and Nick Fury, but still below Stealthy and Fraggle Rock. But Hopper is right up there towards the top. Because I know Reed, Thing, Johnny, and Sue are the top 4 science, with Sentry smack dab in the middle of them for some reason. Now Hopper's in the mix too, so for those of you playing the Prestige game, it's not a bad option. Not by any stretch of the imagination. So, awesome, guys. Awesome. Level 3 in the bag. And that's 6 Tier 1 Alphas just for that one completion. That is not shabby. Going into the final round here. Start fighting some of the a little bit more challenging champs. But still using the same strategy that we've been using. Except now I get to throw up a couple more multipliers without them just immediately melting, which is nice. And I do say without them immediately melting, because once you get 3 multipliers and then you start throwing some of your mediums, especially following it up with the special one, then that's when you just can go to town with the various debuffs. And Kingpin here is a pretty straightforward strat too. Much more so than, say, like a Crossbones or Agent Venom. Because even though Kingpin can shrug off the first round of debuffs that you put on him, as soon as he goes into overpower mode, you can stack as many debuffs on him as you want, and he can't do anything about it. So, same true if you're fighting him with other debuff champs. You know, science champs especially. Void specifically. You just gotta either parry him enough times to get his overpower up and then start throwing your special ones, because then they're just stuck to him. You can't shrug them off afterwards. Or I think even Reed as well now. So, moving right along. I'm gonna stick with my primary Elsa here. Save the other one for a backup, just in case the double-edged damage winds up creeping up on me. Now, it would be really nice. And it's definitely a bit of wishful thinking, especially with how amazing Elsa is just standard. But it would be really, really nice if her parry auto-evade also worked for projectiles. A la Green Goblin's last hit there on his special. Wouldn't have to do any damage, but you could do damage. But that's just me again. Wishful thinking. Okay. Brilliant. And down he goes. Got the Electro coming up, who is not going to be a problem. Not a problem at all. And here we go. Final Gwen, Part 1. I'll go for the challenge points. Now don't hold me to it. I'm not entirely optimistic that I can take Gwen here. I think the bleed damage might wind up getting me. Oh, or, you know, an evade before I can get the cold snap up. That would do it too. That just means I get to bring in my bigger gun, Elsa. Cold snap up on you, so I can just ignore that nonsense. Another one up on you, good measure. And then continue on just stacking up the multipliers. Pow, 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 pow. Easy game, easy life. Next time, though, I will play a wee bit more cautiously. Awesome. I will take every tier 4 basic I can get. I have such a drought for those things right now, it really isn't funny. But yeah, I will be playing it just a wee bit more cautiously this time on that last one. Trying to bait out a Dex and anticipate it more this time. That way I can get the cold snap up and then just rinse the rest of the fight. Boom. Nailed it. But yeah, this wound up being a really nice event. We've got about, what, 6 days left until the update drops. I start in on the rifts and all the new adventures. And pow, pow, boom. No, thanks. I'm good. Not that Beast is a bad champion. I, just would prefer not to play as him right now. Another cold snap up on you. I should have went for the adding the extra multiplier right there instead of the medium. Same result, but would have been a slightly safer strat. It's actually been pretty nice here. All the champs here seem to be evading right about the same time that I evade, which means I can just go straight in with a cold snap and just not have to worry about it anymore. Good looking out, guys. Appreciate it. See if the last two Spideys hold true as well. That'd be nice. Stop that right before he gets the special. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, I say. Two fights left. Looking pretty good. Okay, so we need to switch over real quick Bit of a technical issue right there, of course. One fight before wrap the thing up, but should be pretty okay still by the look of it. So sorry about that. But here we go. One more Spider Gwen and call it a day on this thing. Okay, evade. Cold snap. Multipliers up on it. Actually, I don't even need to. It's already over. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's not bad. Came in about 15 minutes faster than the original estimate. I will gladly take that. I will gladly take that. And there we go. Cool, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for finding the channel and hanging out here for the last half hour. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. For those of you who are new to the channel, if you could give me a like and ask you to subscribe to the channel. Every bit helps me out immensely, and I very much appreciate it. But until next time, guys, take care. Talk soon. Stay safe. And be well, everyone. Bye for now.